us, how refreshing is it to sit down in front of the media and know that we're not about to ask you about a losing streak or anything like that? Does it feel good?
Yeah, you just kind of did though, right? You did, but you didn't. No, yeah, feels good coming off a win. I feel like I have some momentum, and yeah, and also a quick turnaround, which feels great.
Was that something you pushed for? Because there'd been some big gaps in your fighting. Was that something you said, I gotta keep the momentum going?
For sure, definitely. Like coming out of the last one, I felt healthy, was ready to get right back into camp, hit the ground running. As far as preparation, and it worked out well.
Nice. How about Fight Island? I mean, was that something that you would you have rather be in Vegas? I guess it seems like a heck of a lot easier. Or do you like this adventure?
No, I like it for sure. I mean, coming out to an exotic place and getting to fight, and it's a lot of fun.
Very cool. Obviously, you fought the biggest names, man. You've been around, but Matt Brown, it's a fight that should have happened a long time ago, right? But it's a fight that I think the fans immediately get excited about. Do you get excited about certain names, certain matchups over others?
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody is a different puzzle. Everybody's like, something, a different type of challenge. And I like, I like the challenge of fighting a guy like Matt for sure.
Would you consider yourself like a fan of his, so to speak? I mean, he's been in some amazing fights.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a guy that fights like that for sure. Definitely.
Network television, does that do anything for you? I mean, does that get you excited at all? Or I mean, I know you've been doing this a long time, but does that get you excited?
No, I mean, like I hadn't really even thought about it too much. I don't think I fought on network television before. Has the UFC been on network?
Fox back in the
maybe I might.
Maybe you did like one or two.
I may have done a Fox car. So
my fight was on Fox.
I don't know. It's all the same for me, man.
On paper, like we see this fight, we think two warriors, it's going to be an absolute war. I mean, is that the way you see it? And does that excite you? Because obviously it probably means you're coming out with some bumps and bruises and some scratches and not so much. So does that excite you or does it not?
I'm going to try to come out as unscathed as possible. I'm going to try to get out there and get this thing done. And, whatever happens, I'm prepared for the worst. But no, I feel like I can get in there and get it done and, hopefully not take anything, but I'm kind of durable, so I'll be all right.
That's awesome. Last thing for me, what are the goals for 2021? I mean, obviously, like you said, you'd had some layoffs and losses and we didn't know where, but now you got momentum and you're starting the year early. So, I mean, do you have like a game plan laid out of where you go?
No, I have my mind supremely focused on this fight, getting this thing handled. I mean, there's a lot riding on this fight. A lot of guys getting cut, a lot of people on the chopping block. Mention you like to mention the losing streak. I've won one of my last 6. So not a great record for my last contract. So, and I'm also up for renegotiation too. So a lot going on in that respect.
Is this the last fight on you?
Yep.
So do you feel like, I mean, I don't want to say pressure, but you do feel like this is a bit, like you said, there's a lot riding on it?
Dude, I'm getting in there against a guy who's going to try to fuck me up, right? So there's a lot riding on this on a lot of different levels, like lots of levels. So, for sure.
You probably don't want to think about it too much, but would it be weird for you to think about the concept of maybe not fighting in the UFC and especially under the Zoop umbrella with how long you've been with WEC and UFC?
Yeah, I mean it would be different, but I don't know. Like I haven't thought that far ahead. Just kind of taking it, like a step at a time, and I got plenty to think about right now without all that.
What do you think about a limited number of fans being allowed? So fighting in front of fans again.
Seems cool. Like I don't know. I kind of liked not really having too many people, but I don't know. I don't know.
Matt was in here earlier and he said pretty much before every single fight he retires, like at some point in camp he just doesn't want to go through the camp anymore. Have you ever had those thoughts?
Yeah. Sorry. My bad. Yeah. I definitely have. At different points in my career, I've like, especially fight week. Not anymore. It's been a while since I've been like, consumed by anxiety. Like, why the hell am I even doing this? But there's been times in my career, and this was years ago, where I'm like, God damn it, this is so unpleasant to like just dealing with the nerves of fight week.
Matt said he's also been thinking a lot about like health down the road lately. Is that something that you're also thinking about a lot, like at this point in your career?
I have for years. It's something that I've thought about for a long time. And I mean, if we're realistic about what it is we're doing, you have to, right? Like, like we have. I mean, he's, we're maybe me and him are old for fighters, him and I, but like as people, we're not that old, like for humans. So we still got a little bit of time, left on this earth that we gotta, function and. Hopefully have lots of goals and cool shit to do in the next 40, 50 years.
Do you take precautions in training to sort of you can't stop it from happening, but to just sort of hold it back a bit better? Like, do you spar heavy still, or do you try and stay away from that stuff?
I've sparred plenty heavy for a really long time, and so no, I don't. I spar with guys that I trust and that are that kind of care about, like they're there for me and not for them. And like you get a guy who is there for them, or you get a young guy who just wants to go out there and take your head off because it's a feather in his cap. That's not a smart move, for longevity, or even, I mean, you could be out of a fight and it costs you a lot of money.
Matt was saying something that in MMA that could help change sort of fighters getting busted up too much is coaches getting better and looking out for their fighters.
Sure.
Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I think that hard sparring needs to be monitored by coaches. I think that's definitely a good idea.
He was. I asked him to share a story about one example of terrible coaching, and he said there's a time where every round he would spar, if it looked like he was winning, the guy would just change the fighter to a fresh guy in the middle of the round. Have you ever experienced anything like that, or do you know of anyone who's had just terrible coaching advice?
No, I would say that it's more, sometimes coaches don't speak up when your fighter is, you're in charge of your fighter, right? And it doesn't matter, like, ego's out the window. Doesn't matter if you're trying to get your fighter to the fight, as unscathed as possible. And sometimes I've seen coaches not speak up and let their guy get smashed, and how that doesn't really do anybody any good.
Matt said he feels like he's going to run through you and that your skills aren't comparable to his. How do you feel about your skills compared to his?
I think that's, hey, I'm glad he's confident. I'm gonna fuck him up though. I'm gonna finish Matt Brown.
Early or as long as
I doesn't matter. I'm gonna fuck him up.
You've had a very sort of decorated career in terms of some of the names that you fought along the way. GSP and Nick Diaz and many others. I remember GSP saying after, because obviously you came very close to stopping him in that fight, that it was one of his proudest accomplishments overcoming you. I just wondered, along your record and your career, you look back, what are your proudest and the best people you feel like you've faced?
The fight against Robbie Lawler was, one that was, I lost, and that one still sucks. But so there was that one. GSP fight was, was awesome. I don't know. There's a lot of them, like you said.
How close did you actually feel like you were to finishing him in that fight?
GSP, pretty close. I thought I had it. I thought I had him out, but I mean, he gutted it out and pulled through.
You talk about obviously being in the last fight of your contract as well. Talk to me about the relationship that you have with maybe Dana White, and perhaps is there value in your name at this point, though? That there's a lot of up and comers who look at you and the career you've had, and there's value in having fights with you from that perspective.
Sure. I guess those are two different questions.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I great relationship with Dana. They've always treated me really, really, really well. And so, you know, I think it just comes down to whether I'm performing or not, you know, as far as that in the contract. Yeah, and I've done what I've done in the sport, and yeah, but when I was up and coming, I always wanted to fight guys who had something that I wanted. I was always looking to climb, right? And so, you know, somebody fighting me and having wins over me, yeah, is in depending on where they're at in their career is a step, or it's a you know, it's a notch in their belt or whatever.
What would you say to a young you? Would you say keep going, yeah, go follow the UFC, or would you say no, be a boxer, be a librarian, be a chemist, be something else?
Not a boxer. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I had any other choice. Like I was locked into this from pretty young age, and I didn't have. I was just the path that I was on. I was. I would tell myself to, you know, get an education, and, you know, like maybe get a different job, but I don't know. I like the way things have gone.
If this was your final fight in the UFC, how would you reflect on your time as a whole?
The whole journey has been absolutely incredible. Like, I never expected, like, when I first started out, this wasn't a sport. This wasn't like a thing anywhere near what it is today. So, you know, I was just having fun. I got to fight. I got to spar. I did it because I loved it. And it's, you know, I've got to travel the world and, you know, do my thing and have a career and, you know, make money and make this my job. I mean, it's been amazing. Met all kinds of cool people. Had a bunch of great experiences. It's it's been awesome.
Rather than 1-5 in your last 6, I would go with undefeated this decade.
Oh, there you go. I like that. Noted. Thanks, guys.